I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all doing well. I see that Franker Faces is not working for the chat on Franker Faces stopped working for the chat on the Stream Manager dashboard page. I wonder. Here I am. Hit me. I'm live. Yeah, it's working elsewhere. That's disappointing. Oh well. What if I pop out chat? It only sort of works. Irritating. Anyway. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello, Schubert. Hello, Esports are for losers. Hello, Dark Rift. Hello, Shaboy J. Hello, Dark Mex. Welcome, everybody. I was considering not... Oh, is that like meat brittle? Oh, that's a horrible term. I'm going to have to put that into Bing when they allow me to generate things again. Yeah, that sucks. I can't use that anymore. Anyway. Let's find a good image to go out on. Ugh. Barbarian Grinch. Rusted, dilapidated Soviet video game console. Good. I'm pretty sure that one was British Stooges. Good. Here's a good skull man. Yep. There they are. That might be Bubsy. How's everybody doing? How's the week treating you so far? Having a good time? Hope so. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, me too. Me too, shoot. I love the music from Outrun 2019. Hey, Astral Vortex, how's it going? I was lying in bed last night, having a hard time sleeping. Here's a bug. I was lying in bed last night, I was having a hard time sleeping, and I realized that I would have to, oh, Junkyard Dave. That's right, I'm gonna show you Trojan, that's right. I don't need to open my dungeon music just yet. We can just do that. Where's my instant? I showed Junkyard Dave the Trojan run. Hey YGY, how's it going? Ah, well, good luck. I wish you the best. Wish you the best, Astral Vortex. I was starting to say, hey, Babarovsky, how's it going? I was starting to say, I was lying in bed last night. I was having trouble getting to sleep, which is common. And I got an email from, like, it was like a Glassdoor advertising email or something. It was something stupid. And I realized, I was like, oh, fuck. I'm going to have to learn all that bullshit business terminology again. have to immerse myself in it. So I realize I have to do that on my days off, but not today, not tomorrow, Thursday. Thursday will be that. Anyway. Let's play some Trojan. Let's play some Trojan. Oh, the stupid folder is good. This is stuff like stupid Contra and shitty Mario and shitty Castlevania and the bad translation of Last Armageddon and Ninja Gaiden with a 6 and 15 frame lag on purpose. That's the Ninja Gaiden one. So, I was talking to Junkyard Dave the other day about Trojan. Dave asked, like, as a variety streamer, if I chose one game to speedrun, what would it be? It'd be Trojan. This is your movement tech in Trojan for every stage but 4. Plus holding diagonals to slide. I'm not timing this yet. This is just a warm-up. It's just a warm-up. The route's pretty simple. Oop. I don't fuck it up. You just gotta get the P in that sewer and 1 in the other one. I picked this because I was already good at it. That guy, if you're jumping towards him when he does his deflection thing, it doesn't push you out of attack range, so you can hit him as soon as the backup thing is done. So I was already good at it, and I was like, I want to beat Trojan. I haven't played it on stream. I haven't played it since I was a kid. This guy is the big jerk. So he does 1 to 4 rolls across the screen, right? But you can control how many rolls he does. It's just that it's down to like 1 or 2 frames to make him do a single passage. And he's mostly obscured for part of it. That was actually pretty good except for the start. It's pseudo-random number generation. I think 1 in 32 of his frames get you the 1 cycle. You can delete this guy if you hit him in midair twice. You actually don't move faster by jumping in the water. This is real sloppy. This level's the most dangerous one in terms of, like, run-ending enemy patterns. Nope. That shouldn't have been a jump. But yeah, I used to run this game a little different when I would play it as a kid, which is like I preferred to get the you can lose your sword and shield by blocking a bomb from the red guys. Oh, that's bad. And I preferred the punch because the punch has a gigantic hitbox. But it turned out I was like, what if I didn't lose the punch? How fast would I be at this? And that guy, you can time the cycle to hit him by the jumps. But you can just hit him anyway. You don't have to be jumping. Hey, Gog Zero. This is pixel perfect. You can grab it in the same thing that you reveal it, but it's tough. I get it maybe 30% of the time. Once you get that S power up, it lasts for both sub-stages of this stage, or until you die. It makes you move at jumping speed while walking, so gives your thumb a break. I don't think this saves much time, but if you do a left jump, getting accidental cardinals there. Stop it. Here we fight Armadillon again. The number of cycles he does here is relative to when you arrive at him. That's too early. This side? No, this side. Oh, 4. My final time is like, I want to say it's like 20 seconds off the record or something. Basically, if I got a perfect Armadillon, I'd be 10 seconds ahead of the record. 7th place for the last 2 years. Yeah, I don't usually do the splits just because, like, I haven't been playing up to snuff, but I'll do one with the splits. Let's take a look at what my current skill level is. It's mostly down to, like, you lose like a minute and a half on a bad Armadillon. Damn. Oh, because he's not... Yeah, okay, he needs to have his thing before you can do that. That's right. This stage is a little interesting, these two stages. They can have fairly high variance. The next stage, this one's tough. If you get the wrong pattern, it can be really frustrating. Basically, you want 2 dudes behind you. You tap the shield to delete that first bomb, but bring the shield back in so your leg sticking out behind you doesn't extend your hitbox. The rocks, I don't know a way to, like, determine the pattern of the rocks, but you can stand, like, real close and then jump in for it. Hey, doing the obvious. How's it going? Thank you. Those guys are kind of trivial. The boss is just, it's a real simple timing for Achilles. Of course. I jumped. You don't even need to jump, but jumping makes you dodge his attacks easier. Where did I put Live Split? Where did I put my ancient copy of Live Split? One of these. Assault Ranger. I reset my splits a while ago, so this isn't the, like... This isn't comparing to record, I don't think. This isn't comparing to record. There's a thing you can do... Yeah, what have they done to my oatmeal? Thank you for the GGs. Do not update. turn on thing. Temporary Bing. What do we got? Oh. What have they done to my oatmeal? I wonder what Bing would do with just what have they done to my oatmeal. So there's a timing thing with this game at the start. See if I can do it. Because after loading the game, when it gets to the title screen, if you hit it on the 8th flap of the heart wings, you get 2 dudes behind you, and it saves you like a 1/10 of a second. Evens on 1-1. Be slow on 1-2. Unless I get a perfect iron arm. That's not perfect. And here's where the sequence and like manipulation for Armadillon is so important. Ah, fuck. I hit left too early. That's okay. It turned out better. No? Okay. Plus 10 seconds, and that was from 1-4 and 1-3. Hey, Krill Plush, how's it going? A little slow there. Expectedly a little slow. Oops. There's a really rare circumstance you can get on this level if the red dudes throw bombs at exactly the right time and rate. You can lose your sword and shield, which makes the boss way faster. Go to lengths to produce razor-sharp pixels of these old-timey platforms. Well, they never looked like that back then. That's, it's an interesting way to pose that question, because I kind of disagree with the premise. Right? I think that under certain circumstances, under the best circumstances that one could have had, right? Games could look like this back then. Perhaps even better, because they'd be on higher dynamic contrast devices. But, how was that a fucking time save on 4-1? That 4-1 sucked. Oh, that's right. Maybe I just had a really bad 4-1 when I redid my splits. So the reason I try to get it as clear and as crisp as possible, only in a handful of cases do I really go like the mod route. Is because it's kind of like, this is the best case of what you could have had back in the day if you had, like, special hardware. What the fuck? That can't be right. Oh, I had a shitty armadillon in that. If you had, like, money and access to resources that weren't commonplace, you could get it to look like this back in the day. In some cases, you can do that right out of the box. You can do it right out of the box with certain systems, the Super Nintendo, the Genesis, most of the 16-bit systems. In some cases, you need either a special type of system or a mod. Or special cables, or special circumstances. But the GameCube, I was just looking at the GameCube the other day, and that's another one of those cases where, like, not a lot of people had component televisions at the time, and a digital GameCube, and the OEM component cables to do it, but if you did, it would look really good. Bad rocks. Also pretty bad rocks. Yeah, 7:04. What's my SRC time? 6:46. Sub 7 is a good time. But, like, I'm at 6:46. It's even less. I'm at 6:46 and the world record is 6:39. So it's like, somebody with good execution could go in and just totally destroy this record. Knowing how to manipulate Armadillon and, like, a couple of the PRNG tactics and stuff. Plus the, like, how part of it is, like, knowing where the rock hitbox is kind of tough, but it's not that bad. So, Krill Plush, consumer television sets, yes. But, like, nobody in their right mind who had the option was, like, using RF in favor of the better options. They just couldn't afford it at the time, right? So what was commonplace and what was the best option at the time were different. And often, video game developers were working off of things that were the best available options. They were doing things on computer monitors rather than on a TV set specifically. And so, like, what would end up happening was, there's this big debate, right? There's this big debate about, like, oh, the waterfall in Sonic is supposed to be transparent. And it's like, literally fucking the development team, you can go look up photos and shit. The development team was working on the assets for Sonic on RGB displays that did not have NTSC artifacting. That, yes, it's transparent on NTSC. That's a side effect. Stipple or striped transparency is another way to do transparency on a system that doesn't natively support blending, right? So later games on the Genesis absolutely do take advantage of NTSC artifacts for color blending, but they have a really distinct look to them. Let me show you. There's a very clear game, I think it's called Desert Demolition. There's a very clear example of this in Desert Demolition. Desert Demolition. All right, looks good. Looks nice. Start. How do I start? Okay. So here's an example of when a company is actually using NTSC artifacting to do color blending and to cause to expand their palette, basically, or to do transparency that to do not stipple transparency, but frame blending using transparency from the vertical bar effect, right? Now, you can see that, like, a lot of stuff in this game looks weird and kind of wrong, right? It's really obvious that that something doesn't look quite right in this game. The health bar, the flags, the way that Melting Wily has those, like, vertical bars on it, right? So clearly this was developed with that in mind, right? This is something where, like, yes, we're absolutely focusing on this part of the technology. Frame perfect. Getting this frame is tough. They're focusing specifically on this stuff, and you can see it, like, in most of the things that are going on in this game, right? Extra colors, extra, like, blurriness and stuff. You can see it in the way the background is laid out here with the vertical bars like that. So this stuff is absolutely the thing that people talk about when they're referring to, like, the Sonic waterfall and stuff like that. Yeah, like here, the way there's those vertical lines in the elements here and here. But let's take a look at Sonic. So there's none of that same presentation stuff going on, right? It's all very clear, very, like, well drawn and drawn specifically to the way the game is meant to look, right? Nothing looks like it's out of place or unusual in Sonic, right? We'll talk about the GameCube shortly, because I do want to. I want to show what I found about the GameCube. There's some interesting stuff there that we got to dig into, right? But, like, they're using the 60 hertz flashing effect to do visual transparency on the stars. The stars don't have any kind of vertical lines going on. Right? This is all like all the stuff in this game is, and you can see here, right? Like the edge of that grass is designed to look really good with sharp pixels and clear presentation. It's not designed in such a way that it would benefit from NTSC artifacting. Now I gotta get far enough in this game to get the friggin' thing. Right? And we see in the background there's none of the vertical lines on the water or anything like that. The closest example we could maybe make is the way that the grass in this area looks could probably look a little more like fuzzy rather than pointy, but also it looks good pointy and doesn't look out of place. Same thing with the clouds. There's a clear color blending going on here and no vertical bar stuff happening. Also, here we see that there's two, like the pixels are too wide in the TV static here. So they actually are like clearly avoiding that specifically. Oops. Well, we get to see the bonus stage now. But again, right, like, there's no kind of blending going on using that vertical bar technique. What we do see is a very... Nope. Okay, hold on. I have... Off to the side, do you see this bag here? This bag is a full screen, is a 1920 by 1080 overlay, which captures everything that goes on in it. And I have it's a transparent background, and then I have a cursor capture on for it, so I can use that as a cursor thing. Here we see stipple transparency, which is commonplace even on the Super Nintendo and even in modern games. Stipple transparency is just cheaper and more effective, and when displayed as a stipple, is still an acceptable. It still is an acceptable method of transparency. So when you see stipple transparency, that's not an indication that a game is designed to use NTSC artifacting to expand color range or provide transparency. And that's what allows for like this stuff as well. It's all in the same application. Okay, I think we should have some waterfalls here. This zone has some waterfalls in it. I just want to go on the lower route. Whoop. Doesn't. I love how Sonic gives you invincibility power-ups right before places where you can lose invincibility by instant death anyway, if you're not careful. Does that go down? That's gotta go down, right? Yeah, here we go. So you'll notice, forgive the, like, tiny bit that my capture is off from exact pixels, but you'll notice this looks good, right? It looks good in motion. It looks good as a transparent background through which you can see the full background of the level, right? And when you stop it, you're like, oh, hey, look, that looks like water falling down. Now, will it look blended and acceptable and you know, kind of better on NTSC with blurring, with horizontal blurring? Yeah, sure. But also, it looks good, and it's a really effective way to do what they wanted to do here on RGB without any kind of artifacting present, right? So it looks like a good waterfall effect. It's really effective at conveying the visual attribute that they wanted, especially in motion, which, like, you're not supposed to stop and look at shit in Sonic. You're supposed to go fast, right? So, well, asterisk. Right, but this looks really good. So this waterfall thing that a lot of people point to as like, see, you're supposed to play an NTSC composite, blah, 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 right? This was not designed, like, unless somebody comes out and they're like, hi, I was the artist on this, and we took a look at this and we intentionally made it this way to display it on NTSC displays so that it would blur. Unless some artist comes out and says that in a developer interview, I feel confident that this was designed to look good on the developer's workstation in RGB, and they were like, yeah, that looks good. Awesome. And then when they looked at it later, likely in testing, they were like, it also looks good on the TV. Awesome. Right? They probably corrected some stuff that didn't look good, that started out looking good in one place and didn't look good on the final TV. I believe that Sega was invested enough in Sonic to test that kind of thing. But I think that they viewed that secondarily, like they weren't developing on those CRTs. Those were secondary as a, like, let's make sure it also looks good here kind of thing. But again, right? Like, it looks good in RGB. It looks good in clear pixel capture. And if you had the right television, and back in the day, that's what it would look like on your Genesis. The only thing I've done to this Genesis is modify one signal pathway so that there isn't as much noise on it. There isn't as much noise on the signal. But otherwise, you're just seeing this is a pure raw analog capture from the Genesis. And same thing with the Super Nintendo, right? Like, the Super Nintendo had some effects that, like, might have been leveraged for certain effects, but I don't believe it's provable to say that they were intentionally leveraging NTSC artifacting. Yeah, and here again we can see it, right? Like, this looks good. I can see what's going on behind it, especially when it's in motion. It looks really good. And if you're looking at it on a TV, it looks even better because you're getting persistence of you're getting like a tiny bit of phosphor persistence there as well. So it's not like the, you know, it's not the same image look and feel that an LCD panel has. Yeah, so I think that's a good point, right? Some games didn't look that way, but I think it's fair to say, right, that, like, outside of the Commodore 64 and like outside of the Commodore 64, I think most games for, like, Amiga, Atari ST, um, Apple IIgs, Macintosh, IBM PC in particular, right? Outside of the Commodore 64 specifically, microcomputers and computers typically had an option to run the game, to run stuff over RGB onto an RGB monitor, right? In the case of EGA, most cases was digital RGB, and the monitor did the DAC conversion. So we had fixed palettes and stuff like that. It's one of the reasons why some people erroneously claim, like, oh, you couldn't do that on EGA because EGA was a digital signal. It's like, not all EGA was a digital signal. Most of it was, but like Rastan on MS-DOS was possible with EGA because you had configurable palettes up to the total amount. It's part of the spec. Most people didn't, but some people did. And so I compare this to like I compare this a lot to like the music options that I have, and a lot, like, basically a lot of the stuff that I have for the stream is the best possible way it could have been while I still spend the least amount of money, right? I don't want to go out and buy like a $10,000 dev kit for something because it was the only thing that naturally offered RGB output back in the day for whatever thing. If I can spend $200 and mod a console to produce the same thing, right? So take PlayChoice 10 or NES Arcade stuff or the one of the Famicom models. Those all had RGB output, right? They had the ability to output NES games in RGB, and I can do that with the mod that I use for the NES. I can do that, and I can switch that around, right? But right, but a lot of consoles, especially starting in the 16-bit era, most microcomputers, the C64 is an outlier on that. The Apple II, before the 2GS, has specific stuff. I can't get into that. I don't know about PAL color artifacting. All I know is that, like, in general, consoles and computers that didn't have some kind of that only relied on encoded video output typically looked like such shit that I don't care about reproducing their original look, because often there's very little to it, right? You can't tell the difference between the output from the Apple IIgs in digital color mode and when I use a post-processing plugin to do NTSC monochrome color encoding on the Apple II, right, from the Apple IIc. You can't tell. So if you can't tell the difference, there isn't a difference in terms of stream presentation. And if I intentionally make it look like shit because that's what people expect, I'm doing my job poorly in terms of presenting the best possible option of what a system could have looked like if you had the money and resources to do so back in the day. Which, again, right, the Genesis, the Super Nintendo, the Saturn, all of these, the GameCube, all that shit, they can all look really, really good if you have the right equipment. Did everybody have the right equipment? No. Did everybody get a suboptimal experience from the did people get a subpar experience because they were doing something with what they had and not what was available if they had unlimited money? Like, yeah, but I don't want to reproduce that. I don't want to reproduce like fucking zigzags and blurry shit and stuff like that. But yeah, like you can see that, right? That even some Amiga games do that, but also like how are you going to reproduce that? How are you going to reproduce that on your end as a client to Twitch, right? How are you going to reproduce PAL artifacting on your end when I send you a real signal of what it contains, right? You can't. Impossible. So what I'm doing is I create the best possible output and like best possible viewing experience for people on modern systems, because literally nobody is connecting to my stream on a C64 or an Amiga and viewing it on a PAL television. If you're doing that, please get off the internet. Like, if you're actually watching this on a PAL television, please turn it off and go outside and, like, go do something else that doesn't involve computers, because you're doing computers wrong. The GameCube. We have a reason to look at the GameCube today. This came up in my Discord, actually. Thy GameCube, Nintendo. Esports are for losers. Well known for doing computing wrong. Shout out to esports are for losers. Also, shout out to Junkyard Dave. Folks, give Junkyard Dave a follow. Very fun. Speedrunner, very fun to watch. Very enjoyable. Like, much more laid back than the usual expectation of speedrunner mentality, I should say. At least in my experience. Yes. Actually, BNU, I wanted to ask you about this. Because it seems like something is simply wrong here when I looked at this last time. Now, I remember playing DOS games on a TV over composite, and I was like, it's so big! This is how Kid Duke thought about it. Okay, can we do it here? This is probably fine. This is probably fine enough. So someone was like, I haven't seen what a comparison looks like between the official cables and the, like, aftermarket cables. It seems like the aftermarket cables are kind of dark. And I was like, well, let's see. Let's find out. I think they're going to be... I know the aftermarket cables don't look as good, but, like, how bad could they be? And so I was like, all right, let's hook it up and let's see what it looks like. Here's the regular cables. For reference, I'm running D-terminal output official cable into a cheap D-terminal to... And it's tough, right, Krill Plush? Because, for example, right, people always say, like, oh, you can tell that the aspect ratio is wrong because this thing isn't a circle. And it's like, unless you have a photograph of it on the developer's computer at that time, you don't fucking know that it was supposed to be a circle. So people go out there and they fucking squash their DOS games all fucked up because they think something's supposed to be a circle when it was actually, like, egg-shaped. It's wild. It's wild, the assumptions that people make, and then they hypnotize themselves into believing these, like, kind of made-up ideas, and then when it finally comes down to it, it's like, yeah, like, the developers did their best, and then they looked at it, and they're like, this looks good, and they probably weren't thinking about whether it was a circle or not. Because that's not how you did things then. Anyway, so here's Super Mario Sunshine on real cables. D-terminal to a cheap D-terminal to composite adapter into the Extron there, and then down to here. I don't know why it's not showing here. It's like freaking out. Now. Hey, Rubicon, how's it going? Now, we're going to swap to the other cables. Okay. Looks a little messed up, doesn't it? Doesn't this look a little wrong? Also, no sound because the aftermarket cables box is too wide to plug the Super Nintendo thing in. To get the sound out. And I don't feel like swapping it. Yeah, like something looks wrong here, doesn't it? Those are good. Blorf. Right? So check this out. This is what I found. If I jack the green contrast up to, like, maximum, and the green brightness up to, like, maximum, now it kind of looks correct. Right? It's kind of like the right color balance, but it also looks super washed out and shitty. Is there, like, Is there a reason why the green specifically is, like, fucked up on these cables? And the green is actually, like, the green here is actually too strong. This is even. This is even, like, maximum whatever. But it's so, like... Hey, Mollusk, how's it going? Hey, Spokely. I'm doing a comparison because I realized, like, people were saying they couldn't find a good comparison of the, yeah, like, what if I cut red down to, like, half? Quarter. 0. Yeah, that's maybe a little too much. But yeah, like, red at half is even, like... But yeah, this is even, and it's, like, it's weirdly dark and, like, bleeding. Here's red contrast at 0. Yeah. Oops. So I'm curious. I actually wanted to ask Bea and you specifically why it might look like this on. Let me reset this to the correct. And there we go. Like, it's not outputting like the wrong. It's not like the wrong color space or something, is it? Like, this seems like something is wrong, not just like the thing is incorrect, you know? Ah, there we go. Video games are good because they're green. The DAC is in the cable itself. They weren't able to duplicate the DAC. They managed to get some output. Yeah, and it seems like everybody cloned the first thing that got output at all. That's what I was afraid of, is that it's an incorrect DAC that gets you something, but not correct thing. And then we'll switch back to the real cables, and we'll see what that looks like again, just to remind everybody what the difference is like. Let's grab a screenshot of this. That's a picture of a wizard farting. GCN aftermarket. Yeah, and there's the thing, right? There's the regular. You know what? I got an idea. I got an idea. Got an idea. Chat. can't be right. Your number is wrong. Hold on, I'm gonna fix this. Four? Yeah, 4. Properties. This. Okay, that's pretty close, right? What about vertical? It's about as good as it'll get. Oh. Okay, so Doom Noob, please go read the very basics about the GameCube digital output port. Please. So, here's composite. Here's composite. Now we can do a comparison. Now we can do a comparison between I gotta crop this correctly. Okay. How many in total? 1450. Oops. 159 minus 1440. 19 in total. So like 15 and 4? Probably 14 and 5. And then 5 in total. No, 15 in total. Probably this? $40 by 1080. By 1080. At 50, 0. That's pretty close. Okay, so here's the aftermarket cables. Here's composite video capture. And here's the OEM digital cables. Almost. Damn it, why does it keep doing that? I don't know what color space this should be. Not those. Ah, auto. 5. There we go. All right, so... We'll just do it this way. We'll turn that on, and then there's the aftermarket cables. There's composite. There's digital. Composite. Digital. Aftermarket. It seems like composite is better than the aftermarket cables, honestly. Hey, Armored Macaw, how's it going? Oh, I don't have the thing in the thing. Right?
What happened? What's this icky paint-like goop? It's moving!
No, no, boys! Don't touch that stuff!
Right? Like, this looks pretty good. Honestly, this looks pretty good.
Excuse me, but... Huh?
Because the GameCube looks like shit already.
The being of the princess in this dreadful heat. Master Mario, if you would, cross over to that shore and find some assistance.
Right? Because this already looks kind of like shit. Like, composite is really acceptable in this case, I think. You know? Oops. Here's digital. It's nicer, it's cleaner. But in terms of, like... In terms of acceptable quality, this seems fine to me. I think probably the answer here, right, is I think the answer here is that this looks better than an aftermarket digital cable, and it's cheaper. If you have access to S-Video capture, S-Video is probably going to look way better than this even. I don't have a, Yo, that guy got fucking killed. I don't have access to a S-Video, what you call it, you know? The output cable. Like, this is... Who in chat can see the difference here between this and what we had a minute ago? Other than, like, you know, that it's a little brighter. Right, it's like the difference here is surprisingly minor considering, like, how big the difference should be. Now, it might be a little more, why does it keep doing this? It might be a little more pronounced in areas with, like, closer objects and more detail. Right? How do I... Backwards long jump. Where's his mustache? Mario, where's your mustache? You look fucking weird. B. I hit B. Show me him up close. It deleted his mustache and he looks all fucked up now. One yed. I think that's the thing, is that GameCube games are incapable of having fine detail. Because they're like 160p in... Oh, there it is. There's the thing. Because they're like 160p in fucking horizontal blue resolution, right?
Preparing to register customer information, scanning and classifying subject data. Subject identified as Mario, resident of the Mushroom Kingdom. Data storage complete. I am Flood, a flash liquidizer ultra-dowsing device. I hope to be of assistance.
See? Not that much worse. And again, this is best to worst.
Use the R button to shoot water from my tank. If you press the R button all the way down, you can stop and shoot. You can then use the control stick to aim in any direction.
Yeah. We saw that when I was tuning up GBIHF. And, like, GBIHF has to run at double resolution, double frame rate, half resolution weirdness to make it actually, like, work.
To refill tank, enter a body of water and press the R button. Instructions complete. Proceed.
Imagine if they defaulted that to yes, and like, imagine if they defaulted to yes and they, like, what's the... What's the thing I'm trying to say? Oh, yeah. If they buffered your button press from the beginning of the cutscene. That's what I'm saying. Default to yes, hearing it again. And also... buffer it so that if you've been hitting A during the cutscene, it automatically selects it. The collision on this plane is all fucked up. Some weird shit you can do. Oh. Super Mario blasting buttermilk spurts so that he can fly like a jetpack. Who's got Bing open? Can we get Mario into the engine? Front, maybe? Good job, Mario. You made it more dangerous. This whole mess is your fault, Mario. $30 fields, yeah. Anyway, if I didn't know what it looked like this, I wouldn't think this looks bad. Yeah. So there's two problems, right? There's Mario is in jail, the end.
Court is...
Somebody get Hesh. Somebody trick Hesh Ballantyne into playing the like first 10 minutes of this game. So that he gets to the courtroom scene and gets incredibly mad. This is a good idea. This is a good idea that we should do. Oh, it's under apps. Ah, fuck, wrong one. Hey, Basil. So that's one problem. You don't get any output from GBIHF on composite. 200,000 frames of animation. Daffy Duck, cop killer. Alright, it's cheese time. Oh, I forgot to mention, folks, there's two new neural net voices, but they don't have bit numbers associated with them yet. He drops the dynamite if you go into the edge pose. Fucking anime, the like anime versus scene. Ah, fuck. Every time. Let's see something. Let's see something real quick. Whoops. These should be the new voices in the TTS pile, by the way. Will regular GBI start? They probably aren't. Okay, that didn't start. Did you click on the one I told you not to click on? Ah, here we go. I told you not to click on it. Yeah, here we go. Now we can see. Now we can see. Here we go. This game's real weird. If you die to an enemy, you drop your life and you can pick it back up. If you die to yourself, Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway, this is what the Game Boy player looks like, and it sucks. So, here's how I would put this. Composite cables are only suitable for playing games designed for the GameCube Nintendo on it. Because other games will look worse because they expect you to have a clear display.
Yeah!
So we can test it like with this, right? This suffers a lot more, because I think this was originally a PlayStation... PlayStation 2 game.
Mikey's in his house! Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles! Turtles counting on turtles!
That goes directly to GBI? I don't know, I just load the doll. Hold on, I'll restart in a moment. Yeah, so like this is passable.
What the shell are those things?
But this looks way better. Right? So composite will do you fine for like... Composite will do fine for like, GameCube original games. But for, for ports to GameCube, maybe not so great. So, I have an app thing. I go to GBIHF, and I have this GBIHF thing that I run, and then it goes. That's it. That's the whole of the law. Aftermarket. Does that answer your question, Finn? About the boot up? Well, I'm happy to help. Let me know what I need to answer. What would be helpful information? Like when I reset? You have to load a corrupted save in Splinter Cell before you can ever get to the menu to load GBA player stuff. I'm not sure I know how to do that. I'm sorry. You know, it's even worse than this.
I'm gonna give him 100 bits. I'm gonna go LLLL.
I turned on the GameCube and it bypassed game exploits entirely. Shaxpert, thank you for the 80 bits. Yes, Soppy. Thank you for the 71 bits. I think what you might have seen... Oh! How do I boot to Swiss directly? There's a thing in it that does a thing. In the bottom? Art ears busted? What happened? Ear broken? Ear broken. Not right to closing transport. Yeah, hold on a second. One second. I gotta fix something here. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see your TTS. Thank you for the 100 bits, Basel. Thank you for the 80 bits, Shaxpert. Thank you for the 71 bits. Yes, Soppy. Stream start.cmd. Here. This one. Twitch is changing stuff today. Okay, there's that. Loaded. Did I get? No, I didn't. Value 100. Message. Brain? Lag. Wait, shit. Copy. Hold on. Hold on. Quote. Place with and apos. Semicolon. Sorry about the delay here. Why is that invalid? And GT and LT.
Gotta pass. Okay.
Labrilla, thank you for the raid. I'm sorting out a problem. Twitch. There you go.
Blay. Oops.
Thank you
Yeah.
for the raid.
Oh God, that's unexpected. Greater than air faint static, followed by a yelp,
My
a whoosh severe
my
and a
bot
bristle, then nothing.
imploded
No more
because Twitch is
footsteps.
changing
Greater
stuff
than
behind the scenes.
Blay.
What are you playing?
Here's the
Castlevania
setting here.
3.
I am talking about setting the game's pixel color the way I want it to be. I must have missed something.
Nice.
I mean, it does it. Then again, with things like the acorn armor, there's a setting for the way the armor appears, but it's default.
Welcome, Penathy J. Welcome, Labrilla and Raiders. Welcome, Toastman X. I've had a good time with Castlevania 3. That's a tough game. That's a very tough game. I was just fixing a thing here. I need to make some neural network generated food for folks who spent bits and didn't get what was promised. Here, you get 3-1 for
Sausage aspic.
3-1
omelet. Roast turkey feast.
for your
Nachos
stuff.
deluxe.
It gets a little
French
out of
fries
sync.
tacos.
French fries tacos.
Bread omelet.
Bread omelet. Aspic. It's like savory jello. There's French fries tacos. Bread omelet. Good. Just a big slice of bread. Probably not the worst. Hello, Detective Elijah. Welcome. So we're gonna play. Okay. We were looking at cursed Mario games. Here's a cursed Mario game. How do I? Fuck no, I didn't want 2-player. Oh, because fuck, I can't do it here because it's like I know you're on a pirate cart. So it doesn't read inputs very well. I don't know how or why they did this. This is how it looks. This is how it looks. I can't do it here though. Shit. I would have to do the. Yep. Oh, there's a little. There's a little. No, we have to do this. Phenomenon asked about booting up in a specific way. So you might mean this, where when I hit reset, it takes me straight to the EverDrive cart. You might have meant that. That's a thing that happens. But also, whenever I do this boot up thing, there's a thing in the thing that makes it do the thing. Right? It makes it go to this directly because there's a thing in the GameCube that I don't quite know what it is that allows that to happen without doing like corrupt crap. Yeah, it's like, yeah, there's a mod, I think. Basehole, thank you for the 300 top 20 Maniac themed gravies. Let me make sure all that's going through correctly. Yeah, it looks like it. It'll take a minute though. But yeah, it's like there's a thing in there, and then I stuff a SD card in the bottom of the GameCube to make it work. But hold on, we gotta do some stuff. What do we have to do? We have to connect this. Here. We're gonna go back to the GBA scene. The Mister. Then we have to This guy are sick. Thank you for the 80 bits. That'll take a moment because we're processing some cursed TTS. But then we have to change.
Who have you ever top 20 Maniac themed
Soup
gravies?
sandwich.
There it is.
Gravy. Dada. Corina Hampton Twinglachumron Genie. Control dinosaur strength. Slot burger ablution fee. You got calls ruggish guy. Cheaper London West stews. And calls roll doggy gruggler. 4. Joa Box's Smoky Ocean Steam Doggy Gurgler 5. Organics Fast and Furious Coconut Swish Marmade. Go to list 6, rated Crazy Mary Poppins Gurgler. Aside Hana Hope 7. Taiga and Hungry Doggy Gurgler. Cuddle Cupcake Midnight Cutter Gurgler with Sprinkles 9, Nutella 9, Pabst Blue Ribbon Doggy, Gurgler with Shake Dip.
Classic. I'll have to tune this once we get into the game, but okay. Now, you don't get deinterlaced. And you need to be, like, slightly different width. We're looking at for those who've just arrived maybe in the raid, we're looking at a super, super cursed Mario right now. That should do it. No. That should do it. Yeah, that's clear. All right. There he is, Mario, just like you know him. With his chewing animation and his jello nose while he walks. Remember when Mario had a giant bloody grin when he crouched? Yeah, there, that one. That's a good Mario right there. That's also... I want to say there's a character in, like, Ed, Ed, and Eddie or something that looks like that. With the, like, hat down over the eyes and, like, giant idiot grin. Nope, this is how it is. This is how it is. This is an official game, and it does. This is just unmodified output. Part of it might look different because we're seeing it on a digital screen with very little, what's the word I'm looking for? Persistence, you know, thing where when you look at it, it's still there and not there later. But then if you look at it now, it's there. And then when you look at it later, it's not there. That's the problem that we're seeing right here. The GBA screen has a ton of ghosting. Yeah. Very high response time. So these wiggly bits would be less wiggly. But, like, the piranha plants would still be all fucked up like that. Exactly, Slappy Meats. Exactly. It was a screen of its time, you know? Like, we couldn't get away with... We couldn't make a GBA with a screen like that today. It would just be unacceptable. I'm gonna start using the fucking... I'm gonna use the idiot, you can't make that today things, but to refer to, like, products of actual inferior quality of their time. Can't make bad LCD screens anymore. Oh, that crunchy... That extremely crunchy block breaking. How do you do this? There we go. Can't you die by falling off the vine there? I'm curious. Basil, thank you for 305 bits. Oops. I've died. But yeah, there's a bunch of, this classic NES series has like a bunch of fucked up shit going on. I think this one's relatively, like... This one's relatively lucid. Castlevania one looks fucked up. That's a really good response. I know, isn't it great? Uh-oh. This one's corrected. Little Jeffries.
Yum!
This seems relatively normal.
And without a word,
Seems
attacked.
relatively normal. This also seems normal. Oops. Turned it the wrong way. Hey, Adrian, how's it going?
Yum!
Taters Games, thank you for the 305 bits. Space Hole, I think, thank you for another 306 bits. I'm sure BNU's over there just like silently screaming about how bad I'm playing Dr. Mario. Excite Bike? Some of these are messed up and some of them are like corrected. I think Mario's the worst one. Oh, Excite Bike's fucked up too. Let's go. Oh no, he looks all fucked up. What about the dudes in the background? I like the two guys who like do that thing.
其他最近嘅點知就查次要他people嚟係要他嘅啊，好啦，要啊佢小小要少少到不了呀，不了的我們看了把票啊，sorry。但是因為他不要，所以他不了是 Q 球才不可以啊，個有啊要不要啦要啲其他部帶你我啦睇，至少要打不了嘅，需要差不多啦要出頭，但是要打一步都要有一個超速的有需要下把個。就那不了解人家來着了，就是其他部那種就是就是就是。我朋友圈不领导费，如果我还有点手有呀，啊，还有种有了这不能。
I hungry.
还有这样吗？
We got a hype train. Basil, thank you for 305 bits. Basil, thank you for 305 bits. This seems fairly sane. That doesn't look right. Basil, thank you for the 300 bits. It's Hype Train level 1. This doesn't look particularly messed up. This looks kind of messed up, but I don't remember Pac-Man on NES well enough. Oh yeah, absolutely. That's how neural networks work, right? There's a number of effectively randomized seed values involved.
No, I have 300. I have 360 DY.
We looked at that one already.
As 6, the case those wow, food stitch.
It's still got a stitch in there. Link's really short legs. Howard Hawk is live, Basehole. Remy LaFood, thank you for the Lees. Howard Hawk is live, but you have to do Howard semicolon space the rest of your cheer to start it, to get him. Anything 300, yeah, 300. Adding at 300. That's important. Damn it. Oh no, yes, Sophie. Basil, thank you for the 300 O's. And yeah, if it doesn't go off for some reason, if it doesn't do the Howard thing for some reason, I'll make sure to... Oh wait, yeah, I'll have to fix it. You'll get double. I'll have to fix that. Hold on a second.
Choo, 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 choo.
Damn it. So to clarify, the Howard thing should go at the very beginning before even the text cheer. It should be like Howard. Well, you're going to get doubles of each, so I don't... Can you really complain? I mean, I guess you can. Anyone can complain about anything. Look at how weird Link looks with those tiny little legs. Hype Train's about to end. 68% in level 2. Whoa!
Shoot 300 Howard.
Basil, thank you for the 300 bits. Hype Train success. 68% to level 2. 2,826 bits. Thank you so much, everybody.
Oh no!
How? I should double check that nothing's gone wrong. Yeah, that's correct. Oh, it's working.
They're 300 Howard. They're 3 Howard. You 3. And 2.
Let's strange light age. Flungum flum flum flum. Flum 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 flum. Flungum flungum flum flum flungum. Flum 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 flum.
There's also Cedric. There's also an extremely cursed Cedric. By the way. Thank you, Adrian Bauer, for the source files for Cedric. Yeah, it's from the source. the zero shot source, which is confusingly also called a prompt. Look at these guys. Look at these stubby little fuckers. Oh, I died. 8. What?
Yeah, 300 Sonophanus, Sonophanus, Sonus, Sonophanus, 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 Winophanus, Sonophanus, 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 Sonophanus,
Son of ass!
Sonophanus, 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 Trinophanus, Sonophanus, 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 Sonophanus,
Sonal fantasy.
Sonophanus, 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 Sonophanus,
Son of Bruce?
Sonophanus, Sonophanus.
My job is to train you for the fight of your life. Ugh.
I don't remember how to fight those dudes. Remy LaFood, thank you for the 300 bits. Basel, thank you for the 300.
My job is to train you for the
Sonophonus.
fight of your life. Ugh.
I don't think there's any. I think that's it, right? Mario's the most messed up. Excite Bike is a little messed up. Zelda 2 is a little messed up. And oh, we didn't try Bomberman, I guess. This seems normal. Certainly normal Bomberman for me. Alright. I'm
Surgery armor son of Venus. Sono, Philo, Sono, Sono. Fantasine, Deus, Elphanix, Elphanix, Elus, Elphanus, oh, I know, Son of Phanus, oh, Son of Elphanus, oh, Son of Phanus, oh, Son of Phanus. Oh, son of Venus, oh, son of Venus, oh, son of Venus, oh, cow, oh, son, I'm a canis, kind of Venus,
He wanted justice. He found him within Aquila and attacked.
Oh. Excellent. Excellent work. Excellent work. What do I want to play next? What video game do I want to play next? I don't know. that aside. Set that aside. Let me put some dungeon music on while I think about it.